Short Rest with Fonzi and Carlo.
All right, we're
And, ay, crap. Never skips a beat. I was gonna sing yung yung chorus ng Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. But okay, cool. We're here. Hey,
yeah, we're here.
Fonzie.
Hey, man.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my
Okay.
friend.
We're back to, wow, it's been the first week and we need a short rest.
Tough year. Weird Kickstarter year, especially for our friends in the US.
Oh my God, di ba? It's weird. I mean, I hope everyone's okay there. Pero, what? I guess I don't want to speak about it. I want to talk about it.
Anyway, so we kick off 2021 with our very first episode of the Short Rest. With Carlo Angelo Gonzalez and myself, Fonzi Marquez. And welcome to the Short Rest, guys.
Hey guys, Happy New Year. So, sakto, Fonzi. It's the new year. So we want to talk about syempre, a little bit of our aspirations and stuff that we want to create for Short Rest and Tabletop Titos na din within the year. What we're looking forward to. One particular is maybe hosting an epic ? Wink wink, nudge nudge. And siguro mga New Year's resolutions as DMs and players in our respective tables.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's it. But before we get into that, let's roll some hit die. It's been a week for 2021 and parang parang everyone, no one will top how bad I am since 2020. 2021 is like, hold my year. All right, so let's roll for it, die. You go first, Fonzie. How are you, man?
Good. New Year has been relatively quiet as far as Davao City is concerned, and with everything happening, wife and I decided to spend the holidays just us. So it's just us and the dogs in the house, and we cooked most of our Christmas and New Year's dinners, which was fine. We spent some time also with our families via Zoom, which was also entertaining. So parang nag-inuman na lang kami, but
inuman.
Kasi at least parang you don't have to spend it by yourselves and juggling through what to watch on Netflix and stuff. Still trying to convince Kia, by the way, to watch Lord of the Rings, which she has not yet. But
understandable.
She says that the music makes her sleepy. Understandable. This year, so far this week has been relatively easy, for me. It's just about reconnecting with the things that I want to do this year. Consolidating the plans and the goals I have for this year. There are a lot, personal and professional goals. And in terms of like tabletop titos, we'll be talking about that more. And personally, as a DM, like, what do I want to accomplish this year? What DM challenge do I want to set upon myself? Right. For last year was the homebrew, which managed to do. This year, hopefully something else or something different. We'll see. How about you, Carlo?
My week has been particularly light in terms of work. Like the work has been good, and it's been, the people have been very cooperative kasi, diba, parang first week of the year, that was medyo everyone is trying to ease out of the holiday feels, right? And so in spite of that, everyone's been like on the go, and I'm really actually grateful for my teammates for being just, sige sir, anong gagawin namin, blah blah blah. I'm like, go chill the F out. We're easing into work, man, but okay. So I'm really grateful that they're still very enthusiastic and very motivated individuals. So work has been particularly light for me this past week. Personally, pretty much the same as you, pero Yung goals, I have yet to consolidate them within next week kasi in fact, I'm taking 2 days of leave from work to do that actually. I did a little bit of reflecting, contemplating on the fragility of human mortality. I'm saying all sorts of all sorts of weird things. But yeah, it's been a very reflective and a meaningful personal week for me. And whereas in most years, parang I'm always motivated. I start the year with a Fusroda. Kumbaga, like literally, I shout in front of my house Fusroda whenever the new year comes several times. And now I still shouted Fusroda, but in a more contemplative manner. So parang more grounded na ako this year. I want to find out the parang what really matters to me. Like so far, I know what I want or what I want to create for myself and my family. Pero yeah, it's parang I really need to delve into it pa. Pero yeah, that's it. That's really just about it. So uh
Great.
that's what I have.
Great, absolutely great. So, talking about the things that we want to accomplish this year in terms of Dungeons and Dragons and D&D, um, right off the bat, are there any things that you'd like to talk about in terms of like, okay, new things that you'd like to try for the channel or for yourself or
Yeah.
for?
For the program, for the podcast, at least for short rest, definitely more rest. More rest. Sorry, more guests. God damn it. So we're gonna have like a new podcast called Long Rest. It's gonna be much longer. No,
God.
no. Yeah, so we're gonna definitely more guests for short rest.
Mhm.
So we've had some guests come along, and we've actually compiled the list of people who can who could guest every now and then. It's just na sometimes the schedule doesn't add up, diba? Parang schedule wise is weird, pero yeah, that thing happens particularly in a professional setting. But yeah, we're gonna definitely have more guests and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Guests
That's
are
it really
fun.
for short rest.
Guests are
Yeah,
fun.
Mhm.
And yeah, and looking for there's a very vibrant Dungeons and Dragons community, not just in Davao, not just in Manila, but in the entire Philippines.
Yeah,
Branching out in from from homebrew to Adventures League to other forms of games, and there are a lot of inspiration or a lot of people, resource persons that we could talk to
yeah,
about just different aspects of Dungeons and Dragons that doesn't necessarily have to be connected to that aspect.
yeah,
I'd love to be able to talk to like storytellers and how they create their own stories so that we can learn and
yeah,
learn
and
their techniques and stuff like that, which has been a lot a lot that's instrumental also in how I apply with that those same techniques to my homebrew, or even in
mhm.
prep. Those same techniques that and master classes that I've taken from alam mo yung masterclass.com ba yun?
Yeah, yung mga quest. I
Yeah.
see their ads on YouTube and they're really great.
Yeah, so
I will
far so
teach
good.
you how to write the script. And I'm like, yo, you're a particularly popular actor whose name I forgot.
So yeah, so maraming ganun. Like personally, in terms of like Dungeons and Dragons, last year kasi I was still coming into. I wanted there to be parang a progression of sorts for me. Parang I wanted to be more comfortable with DMing and the rules and stuff like that before I dove into creating adventures or homebrew and stuff like that. And this year, especially season 10, since AL is literally encouraging people to create their own adventures,
Yeah.
I think it gives a lot of siguro a stronger spotlight to DMs and their own skill to create their own adventures for their players. I
Yeah.
think that would be interesting to focus on, as a DM, not just creating homebrew but also creating content for the Adventures League, not only in Davao but also in let's say Fort 7, or adventures or the Roll20 community, which is also still very vibrant, as you would say.
Yeah.
And also, like, as we are witnessing also other DMs and creators, they create their own adventures now, like Paul Rabat, who is publishing his own
Yeah.
content.
I mean, yeah, his content, si Paul Gabat has been like applauded by international ang tawag mo doon, yung mga, I think Wizards din ata yung nagbibigay ng awards yun. Pero yeah, his content's really good. We should have him as a guest. He's easily reachable.
Yeah, and just creating stories and stuff like that. Maybe that's something that I'd like to lean into more. But I want to finish, like, this year. I want to finish I want to finish Barrio soon. Maybe like by if we continue to play, maybe around March-ish, something like that.
First quarter.
Yeah, and maybe go into finally finishing some of our hardcovers as well.
Yeah.
If you're down to do that.
Venus. Back to hell and back again.
Yeah. And we can also play Strad, Strad is...
Oh yeah, we had the Strad campaign that
was set aside because of Barrio
Yeah.
Alonso.
Mario was really cool though.
So yeah, personally for me, parang okay, I'm more or less comfortable with creating homebrew. Maybe I'll try yung publishing content. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll see how that would turn out, or how difficult that would be. So I have no idea kasi, like, I do have some adventures. Yung kasi some of the adventures that I've created for Barrio, parang naisip ko, maganda to na maging mod or something. I'll just change the elements and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. So yeah, especially yung last na parang
Last
yung
episode.
siege. Yung parang I think that would be parang easily transferable to a mod in to AL that is siguro tier 2 na 4 to 6 hour mod, parang ganun. That would be amazing.
That's a lot of that's actually good content. Like, I don't know of any mod or adventure that implies siege mechanics, in that parang how do you plan to like infiltration and stealth, it's there, pero there is a siege mechanic in that part. Like, we went for the stealth and infiltration part mostly because we're cowards. Joke lang.
Yeah.
But we could have gone for a siege mechanic, so I haven't really heard of of how that's going to work pa. I haven't played in one yet, so yeah that's gonna be good, man.
Yeah, siege mechanic is parang unique, pero there are rules for that. Parang paano nila ginawa, but essentially is I believe lang for the information na lang for all and for you din siguro as a player kasi hindi mo siya na-experience. Meron din kayong encounters throughout the process of the siege that would contribute greatly or not so much to the outcome of the So essentially, if you won the encounters, you would win the siege. So if you lost the encounters, you would lose the siege. Parang ganun lang siya. Kasi it doesn't make sense you win all of your encounters tapos at the end of the day, talo pa rin kayo sa siege. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. I assume that
nakalusot sila Aragorn, pero talo pa rin tayo. Shit, what the fuck?
Surrounded by orcs. Yeah. I said that would be cool.
Yeah.
I guess rin. So that's as a DM, like, are there any, as a player muna, I guess, is there anything new that you'd like to do or try out?
There are
like
other systems like Call of Cthulhu. I'd like to I've been reading up on that. And other modes lang din kasi, like, last year I didn't really play much because I DM'd a lot last year, so wala masyado ako nakalaro, and I only have so much time to do Dungeons and Dragons because I have other things I need to do, and I can only devote so much of my week just kasi prep is still very I spend much time doing prep.
It's time heavy.
Yeah. So, tapos lalo kung weekends, alam mo yun, parang marami kang nasa-sacrifice for 4-6 hours that week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like yung, and I feel like, parang as a player, parang hindi ko masyado yun na-enjoy. Parang just being able to join games like as much as I did, the previous year, 2019, na parang I was playing.
Mm.
Lalo yung pagka-start ko pa lang, I think I was playing mga 2-3 games a week. That was really fun. Kasi I had a lot of free time like in the afternoon. And it's easy kasi for players to be able to do that. To just play. Just hop on games, and especially if
Yeah.
you have a lot of DMs na or publishing games and stuff like that na fits your schedule. Because DM is tough work. Parang, siguro, like this year, I would love for our players to try DMing. For them to understand like what DMing is about.
Yeah.
Siguro I'll be more I'll be more I'll fit into yung style talaga na parang I'll fit into that mold of style na talaga and just settle into that mode. Siguro this year. Para more or less ma-encourage yung yeah, I know Luke has DM'd once. I know Nico is also DMing.
Nico.
So that's two. Siguro we'll see if si Jean would like to DM. That would be interesting, diba, for an RP centric player to be DMing.
Yeah.
So just like myself, parang iba yung
iba yung style.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I'd love to be able to DM more players, siguro new players, invite more people into our table, friends, siguro, to be able to invite them to just play and hang out. It'd be good.
Going into, sorry, go ahead.
I just said that it'll be good, just to be able to do that.
Yeah. I'm going off into a little bit of a tangent regarding Call of Cthulhu and other systems na rin, So yeah, there are a lot of systems out there that implies role playing. Others relatively simpler than D&D. For example, there's Call of Cthulhu. Kasi I've read up on it and then I read another reference. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the RPG the RPG concept of Call of Cthulhu kasi there's one for starters and there's one naman na yun for free sa sa Roll20, right? I'm still trying to wrap my head around the system. Like there are a lot of mechanics involved that I'm honestly not yet familiar with. And to add to that parang parang na-cancel yung Shopee order ko ng Call of Cthulhu for some reason. So, parang, yeah, I will definitely explore that, and siguro baka mauna ka pang mag-run ng Call of Cthulhu game sa 7.1c. So, kasi sa akin pala, sorry. So, yeah, tapos there's another mechanic called, or another system from a game called Dread. Like, rather than rolling dice, you have to remove blocks from a Jenga
Oh yeah. I saw a YouTube of that.
Yeah.
I saw a clip
so
of
parang,
that.
Yeah. Ang doon, it explore parang the DM or the game master needs to talk to the players individually about their deepest fears and stuff. So parang that's really cool. It's more immersive kasi parang you really get into as far as honest yung players mo, diba? And they're afraid of something. Yeah, that's that was yung levels of difficulty are dictated by the levels of difficulty in trying to remove a block from a certain place doon sa Jenga sa Jenga tower thingy. So yeah, those are some of the other systems that we could definitely try out.
Like another system would be, I think one of the games that yung these Critical Role people played, yung Western, yung Undead Wood.
Yeah,
really so para siyang Call of Cthulhu na D10s or something.
Mm-mm.
Na parang western yung setting. That was fun. So parang I think that would be interesting to look at. But yeah,
Yeah.
first things first, I guess. Like, siguro for a future episode, we can probably invite someone who I know a few
Who
DMs
does
who
that?
run Call of Cthulhu. So parang pwede natin sila parang you know,
Tap?
i, interview slash tutorial kung like how it works.
Interview slash tutorial slash run a game for us, please.
Parang ganun. So, yeah, that would
Yeah.
be interesting. Kasi marami namang one-shots eh. Like, I know the starter pack in Roll20 is a one-shot. Designed for like
Mm.
an hour, 2 hours play. Tapos yung ano naman ng Call of Cthulhu with what the resources that they have then. Like for me lang din kasi like with Call of Cthulhu there's just so many resources. I don't know where to start. So parang
Yeah, that's it.
ako nagbabasa ako ng mga core rule books and stuff like that. It's difficult kasi
Yeah.
parang na-overwhelm ka ba. Unlike like Dungeons and Dragons, parang okay, player's handbook first, tapos okay, just get to
Yes.
know the core peeps or the core characters, core rules and stuff like that. Like how you like introduced Dungeons and Dragons to me essentially was like what in RPG style of gameplay, what you like to what you play usually or what's your play style like. So I'm usually the range stealth type. So yeah,
Mhm.
ranger makes sense for me. So
The damage dealer.
Yun din talaga like yeah. So yeah, I would love to be able to start a new campaign, new character na ranger na I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
fun.
Back to
Ranger's
the
fun.
to the topic at hand. And any new classes that you'd like to try
Ooh,
that you've
sorcerer.
not really tried yet? Sorcerer.
Sorcerers are fucking are so confusing to me na parang how they handle sorcery points and stuff like that. Parang it's understandable pero para sa akin parang di ba yan OP na parang you're able to do parang spend the sorcery point to cast fireball as a bonus action. Come on, dude. So parang ano man, parang yeah. So but I think lang din like personally it doesn't really appeal to me as much as a wizard would kasi parang a wizard
Yeah.
roleplay wise is a lot more siguro nagmamatch siya sa aking personality in terms of like tapping into yung
Being studious and yeah,
nerdy type. Pero
nerdy.
yung sorcerer kasi parang alam mo yun, parang naturally gifted.
And gifted siya with he's it makes sense then because the wizard knows more spells than a sorcerer, and I think mas maraming 9th level spells si wizard kesa kay
Yeah.
9th level slots si kesa
And
kay what's
I
his name
only have one wizard sa aking collection of characters.
of characters. Yeah,
And he is a delight for me to play.
to play.
More or less kasi madalas ako like damage dealers ganun. Like I only have 2 bards I think. And most of my favorite class kasi talaga is cleric in terms of
Yeah.
like campaigns kasi nobody or parang konti lang yung marunong mag-cleric talaga. Parang they don't really know how to nobody
Yep.
likes to cleric.
No, yeah, I don't wanna talk about other people's play styles with being a cleric. Other people play clerics to deal damage or to somehow give up some sort of utility towards themselves and not necessarily to the team. Pero that's how players do sometimes. Pero yeah.
Clerics are, based on lore, they're very tight sa kanilang deity.
Deity.
So
Yeah.
wala ka din masyadong in terms of role play, wala ka masyadong nakita na cleric na very knowledgeable about their deities and stuff like that in terms of lore kasi that's where they, and also like warlocks parang hindi mo masyadong makikita yung mga players sa EL na parang they don't really know their patrons.
Basta cleric ako, basta warlock ako.
Who's your deity?
It's
Oh.
yeah. But yeah, that should be a thing when it comes to Adventures League, no? Parang you have to specify who your deity is or who your patron is. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
I
very
don't know.
important. Yeah, that's very important
Yeah,
in terms of
kasi
lore.
that's going
Actually,
to dictate the di ba?
it does.
The how you play your game.
Yeah, it does. Heavily,
Eh,
it does. Kasi parang with the books that I'm reading also in terms of lore, like clerics are also, diba, they get their power from their deity. If they lose
yeah,
favor from their deity,
favor
they lose their power.
their
Parang,
power.
so parang ganun. Same with
Paladins.
warlocks and paladins.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, pero more they're not very din kasi like they're only parang alam mo, like smite sila parang ganun. Divine smite and stuff like that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's something that the AL community should really look into. Yeah. The hula no, parang diba, sometimes some warlocks multi-class into other classes, right? So does that mean they forgo their being a warlock and they forget their patron, or do they just have to adapt a new set of skills? Anyway, it's a thing lang. Like, I understand that AL is community play and it's going to make things easier if we forget the whole patron and deity thing for a little while, diba? Pero role play wise, okay, it's a little okay. So you have you're a lawful good cleric whose deity is Tyr, the god of justice, and that you serve so unjustly. You just want, I mean, so it's a little bit, it gets rid of the immersion somewhat. But yeah, we don't have that kind of problem naman sa homebrew because it's homebrew. We want to immerse ourselves in the lore.
Lore is fantastic.
Ako,
But,
yeah, man. Ako in terms of new classes, I definitely want to try out ang druid and ang wizard. I've never played these classes before. Sorcerer, I've done it. Warlock, I've done it na rin. Ang patron ko ay it's a Fey patron. It's Failure Swift. So ayun, that's my that's my patron as a warlock. Pero other than that, I definitely like to play druid and ano yung isa? A wizard.
after fun.
Mm, I've also had the rogue na. So those are my favorite. Those are the things that I'd like to try out for this year. Ayun. Other than that, yeah, yun lang naman.
Like
So,
I have I have two wizards pala now. Pero yung first, yung second ko yung season 10 na Blade Singer. Partly is a wizard.
ooh, yung season. Oh my gosh, season
Drugs.
10. Drugs.
Drugs of Pluto.
Yeah, I'd like to play season 10. Are you running? I get okay. Since we're going right into it na. What's I'll start. Siguro for my schedule will pretty much remain the same when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, in that I'll still be the most available during the weekends ng gabi. So what does that imply for the tabletop TITOS and probably my channel? Maybe we can stream live while at the same time I can stream and maybe you can record Fonzi or something. So we'll see. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. Pero definitely I'll stream one of my homebrew games live. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Siguro like I'll be recording Barrio at a certain point, and then hindi ko parang as a recording or as a series parang ifinale ko na, but the game will still continue. I don't want to spoil yung ending. But if I do manage to somehow run it again with people, more or less parang alam nila kung ano yung, alam mo yun, parang ayoko masyado nila alam kung ano yung mangyari. But essentially, for AL games like Strad, I don't really care. We can run it offline if you guys are more comfortable with that. Para mas kasi Strad has themes kasi that are para alam yun, medyo dark.
Madi-demonetize tayo. Kahit we're not getting monetized. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, season 10 content, definitely working on yung first, yung connection nung, yung season 10 ko na saga. There's a trilogy there that I'd like to explore. Tapos, another trilogy din sa tier 2 na gusto ko ma-explore din. Para more or less, ganun yung theme. Kasi,
Ooh.
I think the first game you did, if you can still remember, is
Yeah.
parang uh, illegal animal something animal trafficking, parang ganun.
Yeah. Ito yung for season 10, di ba? Yeah.
So
And
I'm
we have
still
to save the druid.
so
The giant.
there are things that I'd like to know in terms of like elements kung ano yung pwede kong ma-bring into season 10 that are I'm still learning yung Icewind Dale na lore. Apparently it's a lot darker than it plays out to be, lalo na sa
Oh,
Epic.
shit. In the cold lands, yeah.
Parang the 10 towns, parang based on what I've read, no, are parang a refuge for rogues and literally
Thieves.
para siyang the wall ng Game of Thrones, na parang doon pinapadala yung mga thieves, mga ganun,
Bastards.
if they want to start a new life, kumbaga. The Legend of Drizzt, which is the book series that is connected to the
Riz?
Forgotten Realms.
Okay.
Drizzt Do'Urden, after he escaped the Underdark and spent a few years in the surface, went to Icewind Dale to start anew. So parang ganun yung so that's where I
That
am
doesn't
right now.
sound...
So yeah, so parang interesting yung dynamics. Like there are barbarians around, there are like old magic that is being kept.
Old magic.
Old magic. So yung the book I'm in right now is the Crystal Shard, I believe. So it's
The Crystal Shard.
So it's a interesting piece of lore that maybe could be adapted into, or so some elements can be brought into that. Pero definitely interesting.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned elements from Icewind Dale and I guess I'm going to go right into it na parang when do we plan? I don't want to say plan kasi when you say plan, it's on paper na. Or when can we hope for an epic from the tabletop TITOS, Fonzi?
Maybe like epics would require multiple tables, multiple DMs.
Yeah.
Like maybe
So,
when we feel like, or maybe when we get Nico and other TITOS to be able to DM more
DM na.
comfortably. And then maybe we can invite like Miles to DM or other DMs that we know, like EJ, if he's still he's active this year. Maybe we can tap into that Tito energy and
just start
relatively
rolling.
like epics in terms of like how it's done. Parang more or less it's easier for us because we have communities that we can tie into,
tap into.
Like Fort 7 would be parang a great community also, kasi kilala na natin yung mga founders ng Fort 7, sila Mike, sila Miles, and other people involved there also, like the ALPH. Parang more or less I know who to approach. So it would be relatively easy, lalo na kung free siya tapos may prizes and stuff like that. So yun lang din talaga, like in terms of like we just need to get the DMs in para ma-settle natin ko okay. So comfortable na tayo with the epic stuff or the planning of the epic stuff, kasi coordination kasi talaga yan kung epic. Tapos more or less parang time, medyo confident ka na sa ability ng DM to manage the time. So that's very important.
Yeah. I forgot that epic start time pala. Time stuff pala. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. That's we're probably targeted at Q3 when everyone in the theater.
Tapos we would get certification to be able to run the epic.
Yeah, ganun pa pala.
So may mga admin stuff, but that's easy for us to do. Lalo na kung online epics are parang a different din kasi.
A different animal.
Yeah. So we can set that up. siguro later this year, siguro what? I'd like to say mga August or July, something like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so definitely, kasi it would take like a month, more or less, give or take, a DM prep na para meetings and stuff like that, like assignments and stuff like that. So
Mm.
NPC, lalo na kung may mga NPCs and stuff. So
Yeah.
medyo madugo
Yeah.
siya
Does
in that
take a
aspect.
mm, yeah.
Of
Right.
course, marketing.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. Right. So, I think one last ano na lang. One last thing to talk about na lang in terms of Dungeons and Dragons, no? Like, w- I know that we're all into the story and the lore and stuff, pero I guess one really quick question that I want to ask now that we're into the topic, parang other than what yung mga homebrews na minention natin, what homebrews are we looking forward to, run? What homebrews? Sorry, what hardcovers rather are we looking to run this 2021?
Well, like paano naman tayo mag-Aswindale? Like, let's not
Mm.
dilly-dally with the season 10 content and just jump
Yeah,
right into the
jump right
fucking
into na lang.
hardcover. Paano naman ganon?
Yeah, yeah.
There's Strad, of course. Strad will take a while to finish.
Mm-mm.
Uh, their season 9 Descent into Avernus. You guys are almost
Yeah, there's
there.
that.
Parang
Yeah,
konting kembot na lang.
yeah.
You'll be able to finish it. Tapos you get the magic items that you want and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, ako yung target ko lang talaga, I'd like to be able to finish Descent into Avernus. I'd like to be able to start at least Icewind Dale season 10 if kung like if you want to run season 10
Content.
or a hardcover para more or less. I don't think you've run hardcovers yet.
Nah, I haven't yet.
So yeah, so that would be a good challenge maybe like season 10. I haven't really read into it much. So parang in terms of may significant prep pa akong gagawin, but if you'd like to take over, that would be great. Um and yeah, and maybe even get some movement sa Strad, and once we start
Yeah.
that train, it's going to be really hard to stop.
Yeah. I was actually going to say I want to get into the Icewind Dale hardcover this year sana. But I want to do it side by side with my homebrew. Para I've got Adventurers League and homebrew content set up pa din. So
Yeah.
those are my targets for this year at least for my
So
Dungeons and Dragons
when do you see yourself finishing the homebrew that you have?
I've got a lot of things planned pa, to be honest. Like I like you guys to reach level 20. So it's for the long run.
Yeah. Yung
So yeah,
barrio
that
kasi siguro level 12
15 at
at the
12.
most.
Okay.
10, 12
Yeah.
at the most.
So yung sa akin medyo long term. Like yung mga elements story elements from the last home load that I planned are still there, definitely. I'm sure you noticed. So yeah, ayun parang it's pa din. That's going to be a long haul thing. So yeah, that's really just about it for my homebrew. Tapos start ako ng I'm looking towards starting Icewind Dale ng around the third week of January. Hopefully.
Yeah, take your time. Yan lang din yung naano ko with prep is that you take your time. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to say na parang I need more time to prep. Like you remember my 2 week off na prep.
Yeah.
That was worth it.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was worth
That's
it for me kasi parang
really
smooth masyado yung game in terms of like how I experienced it. Parang transitions and stuff were planned. Wala masyado akong and all possible avenues that you could have took are parang covered. Yeah.
there are happenings for it.
So na-anticipate ko na ang mga okay, what's a wild idea? Okay, what if they do this? Okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Ganun.
Maybe that's
Yes.
one thing. Sorry, go ahead.
So that was, I was gonna say na parang, yeah, that was definitely an interesting experience in terms of prep, kasi that was the most prep I've done for anything.
Yeah, it's like Batman levels of prep.
So yeah.
I know what
Pays
you're
off.
gonna do.
Pays off.
Yeah. 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 I guess as a player, yun yung isa kong gusto kong plan for this year. Do the most unexpected shit as a player. Pero mostly for the sake of fun more than anything else rather than trolling. All right, I think we that about wraps it up for this episode, Fonzie.
Jesus.
Like
Really?
is there anything else that you'd like to add pa?
Uh, I don't know. In terms of like, how would you want to? What's your DM goal? Like,
Well, yeah, that's I mentioned it kanina. I just want to run and finish a hardcover na adventurously. That's just Icewind Dale
Right.
for this year. Right? That's it. And yung homebrew ko kasi it's there. It's always going to be there. That's my story. Or our story rather with with me as a DM. So that's my DM goal. So it's very specific
Cool.
na yun lang. Let's finish it.
Cool. Sige. So great.
Yours.
So, mine would be to fucking publish an adventure, man.
Oh yeah.
So let's get that
Yeah,
done.
man.
I'll get that. I'll try my best to get that done. Because I think the first one, I just need to write the stuff that I need to write to be able to do that.
Walk me through the process then para next year yun yung i-target ko.
I think it's just a lot of writing.
Oh.
It's just a lot of writing. Kasi if you'd like, I know you've read modules, right? Like yung creature information, stuff like
Ganon.
that. So once you've got the skeleton or the outline done, so it's just filling out those things, those details.
Sure.
So
You're gonna Alexander Hamilton it up. Right, like
maybe I'll just take my time then. Like I have a few months before the next season comes. So
Oh shit, season 11? Is that a yearly thing? Fuck.
yeah, parang I think they
Oh.
changed. Season 9 lasted for ano ba? 2019. No, 2020. I think it was August or October.
Ng 2019
Yeah.
or 20? Okay.
2020 yung season 9. I think then it started there kasi about the same time din kasi I joined the kailan ba tayo nag-start ng hardcover, if you can remember?
With
Was it like
with,
April or
that was that was at around yung Descent?
yeah
2020 natin na start yun.
yeah so roughly
With
around
EJ.
that time kasi parang
Oh,
a few
yeah.
weeks after
2019.
lang ng season 9 yung nag-run si EJ.
Oh yeah. Tapos nag-shift to season 10 na.
Hmm.
Yeah.
After a year.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
was the longest or one of the longest season breaks in a while.
Damn. It's been
Kay
a
season
while.
11, I'd love to be able to go to the Underdark or
haven't gone to the Underdark, to be honest. I'm scared of going in the Underdark.
the Underdark is scary. It's a scary
Yeah.
place.
Haven't been there. I'm okay in the surface. I would fight dragons and shit.
Yeah, the Drow. Yeah, so that's it for our first episode of the Short Rest 2021. Guys,
Yeah.
if you'd like to share with us your thoughts about the plans that we have for this year, or if you have any
Yeah.
suggestions, if you want to sign up this early for our Epic in August, just
On
send
the
us,
reservation.
just comment down below, subscribe. We'd love to be able to get our subscriptions up for Carlos channel, and also
For tabletop TITOS. That's the goal.
so we have a few, and so hopefully we'll be publishing more content for you this year, more great content that you can share to your friends and maybe grow this community that we have here, right?
Yeah. Right. Where can they find you, Fonzie?
You can find me online on Instagram and Twitter at FonziToot. Also look for us at Tabletop Titos on Facebook, slash facebook.com or fb.me slash Tabletop Titos. We're the only ones there. So yeah, look for us there. From that, look for us in the group discussions on AL groups and stuff like that. We'll be posting memes there. Make sure you
Dungeons and
comment,
Dragons Philippines. Very
comment,
engaged people.
comment, like, subscribe, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. And yeah, hopefully more content for you soon.
Yeah, and you can find me at Carlo Geeks Out. Just search for that in Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And yeah, that's about it, guys. We'll see you next time. It's time to end this short rest and venture forth into a new year full of surprises. And may you roll natural 20s and ones for fun.
Oh
Bye,
shit.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
A short rest with Fonzi and Carlo.